Right, guys. So the next topic we're going to talk about is what is a good conversion ratio for your product. So this is one of a big debate, and it's one of the biggest, metrics that are not actually paid attention to when building your Amazon business. Now, it's very, very important that you keep an eye out on your conversions because Amazon's data will tell you exactly what's going on. It makes no sense, guys, if let's just say that your percentage of sales is 5%. Okay, let's even just say 10%. It makes no sense to focus your traffic and get more traffic to that listing when it's only at 10%. Why would you send 100 people when you're only getting 10 sales? When if you shifted your focus rather from sessions in regards to traffic sent and you focused on conversions and you got it to 20%, now if you send 100 people, you're going to get 20 sales instead of sending 200 people to get the same amount of sales, okay? So it's very, very important that you pay attention to conversion ratios and you figure out how you can improve on your conversion ratios. Now, there's multiple ways to do that, so we're going to talk about that here so that we can help you guys go from there. Now, how do you guys actually first and foremost find your conversion ratio? It's very simple. When you're logged into your Amazon Central account, you're going to go to reports, you're going to go to business reports, and then under sales and traffic, you're going to see a top level overview of your daily business metrics, okay? And it's going to show you order item sessions percentage, okay? What that is your conversion ratio, okay? So you can keep track of it on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. It's going to calculate everything, and you can see exactly what that percentage is every single day. And it's going to tell you, okay, today there was 100 people that came to your listing. From that, how many converted over? It's going to tell you the sales amount and so on and so forth, okay? So you can take a look at everything under your business reports page, okay? Now, depending on your category, guys, a healthy conversion will vary it varies depending on your category, okay? Now, anything under 15%, you definitely need to retweak and fix. Anything over 25% is amazing, and I would not change anything. Don't change your pictures, your listing, nothing. However, if it's under 15%, I would definitely retweak something so that you can fix that, because it makes no sense, like I mentioned, to send a bunch of traffic when your listing is not converting. You're just wasting traffic and you're wasting money if you're doing Facebook ads or outside traffic, where if you could just tweak it and convert it better, you wouldn't have to spend as much money and send as much traffic to get the same results, okay? So here's what you want to look for. So if your product has a high conversion rate, but you're not getting many sessions or sales, then your product is not yet meeting your desired target in terms of units sold per day for its price, okay? So what this means is you don't have enough customers seeing your product. So what you need to do for this is you need to increase PPC and you need to up your suggested bid amount, because if no one's actually seeing your product, then it's going to be really, really hard for them, or it's going to be really hard for you to actually get sales and get conversions, okay? So that's number one. So if you have high conversions, but you have low sessions, meaning your sessions is how many people came on your page, so you only get 30 to 40 a day, then you know that not enough people are seeing your products, and that's going to make it really hard for sales. So you want to dissect it that way. So if that's the case, increase your PPC, add $50 a day, and up your suggested bid amount, and compete with top sellers, and then you're going to be able to start getting more sessions, and then your conversion ratio, if it's good, will convert, and you're going to start getting sales, okay? Number two is what happens if your product has a higher price point than competitors, okay? Because you saw an opportunity to be able to improve the higher quality product within your niche, and you're hitting 40 sales per day with great profit margin, then the conversion rate is really, really low, okay? So you're doing, let's just say, 40 sales a day, your profit margins are, you're making $20 per profit margin, and so on and so forth. However, when you look at the sessions, your conversion ratios are super low. So compare your pricing and listing to other listings, and just split test images, titles, to see what's going to help with your conversions. However, in a case like this, is if your profit margins are super healthy and you're still bringing in high amounts of sales, but your conversion ratios are low, then that might be something that you don't even want to touch, you don't even tweak, because you're bringing in the sales. The only time you really pay attention to your conversions is because, typically speaking, as your conversions are low, your sales are low. But if your sales are high and your profit margins are high, but your conversions are low, obviously if you improved on your conversions, you would just make a lot more money. But it really depends, again, if your product is extremely different and it's more expensive, then yeah, you might come across a bunch of people clicking the product and deciding not to purchase it because they just wanted to see why it's priced 3 times more than the competitor. So it really depends. It comes down to what you guys want to do with the listing. Okay. Now the next option, the next example is your product is not meeting the daily sales target and it has a low conversion rate. Okay, so profit is not high enough and the conversion rate is low. So if that is the case, make sure that the product is actually able to make sales. Too many people are launching products and expecting it to do 15 sales a day. They give me the product, give me the keyword, I run the keyword, and on average, most sellers are doing 3 to 5 sales a day. So how are you guys expecting to do 15 to 30 or 40 sales a day when most sellers with amazing listing and good reviews are only doing 4 to 5 sales a day? Okay, so that's why you need to know what other sellers are doing so that you know that you're going to be able to do that. If everyone's doing low sales, then the chances are you're most likely going to be doing lower sales also. Okay, so you want to take a look at that. If that's not the case and everyone else is doing great sales, then you might have to change the keywords in your listing to optimize and find low hanging fruit keywords in regards to less competitive keywords that you can rank for, and then just run a promotion to rank that main keyword that you just found and just start driving traffic that way to see if that's going to help with your sales. Okay, but when it comes down to conversion ratio, guys, you want to be able to test your images, your pictures, your prices, but you want to do it in a strategic way where you're not changing it all the time, because anytime you change something on your listing, Amazon will it will affect your ranking. It could affect it for a few days, but it will drop your ranking. In my experience, at least with all my products, I've dropped rankings anytime I change the title or the price, but it eventually gets back up. So don't let that be the reason to stop, but that could be an issue in regards to doing that. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we're going to be able to split test so that you know exactly what's working, what title is working, and what's not working. Okay? So, like I said, conversion ratio is a really useful tool when used correctly. Just make sure you know your conversion rate and then work on improving it weekly. If you, like I said, hit the 25%, then you're good. You don't need to worry about hitting the conversion ratio any higher, because that's a very good conversion ratio. You have 100 people land on your listing, that's 25 sales, okay? And once you're on page 1, guys, at the top of page 1, depending on the keywords though, and search volume, you should be able to get 300 to 500 views per day for that product. So let's just say if it was 300 views. If you can have a conversion ratio of 25%, and you send 300 people a day based off PPC and organic searches to your listing, that's 75 sales a day that you guys can get for that product if that product's in demand. And it gets that many search volume, right? So it's very, very important, guys, that you get your conversion ratio as high as possible. Obviously, there's a limit. You can't get it to 100% conversion ratio. The highest I've ever gotten and stayed consistent was 37%. On typically, though, it's around 25 to 30. That's my conversion ratio, and I'm happy with that. Some categories, like I say, go super high. Some are super low, but on average, you want to be above 15%. So in the next video, guys, I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to be able to split test so that we can increase your sales and get you guys more sales. See you guys in the next video.